Yes, YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video on the Crutchley Darts channel, once again in the Crutchley Palace. Today we're looking at another very commonly asked question upon my comment sections and DMs, and that's regarding your darts weight, and does it really matter? Darts come in all shapes, sizes and weights, and I can get it's very overwhelming when it comes to choosing that first set of darts. What weight should you go for? Now, the most popular range of weights in darts is between 21 and 25 grams. Now, this doesn't mean to say that you have to start there. However, I would 100% recommend shooting straight in the middle and starting at 23 grams. It's the easiest place to determine whether to come down or whether to go up. And I'm going to talk you through whether you should go down or should go up in your darts weight in this video today. One key factor we've got to take into place though is the different shapes of our barrels. Now, if you haven't already watched the video on my YouTube channel, make sure you check out the video on the shapes because it will help determine this video a lot easier for you and make you understand what I'm saying a little bit more. Not every single dart has an even weight distribution. What do I mean by that? Understanding where the weight is distributed upon your darts is very important, as we can see in the 34 gram Ryan Searles, it is a very bomb shaped rear tapered dart, meaning the weight is going to be packed at the very front of this dart, so it's going to feel very front heavy. Compared to these Luke Littler World Champions, a very straight barrel, it will have a centralised weight and the weight will be balanced throughout, making all of the dart even throughout without any sort of forcing the dart to stand up, sit back or sit flat. This dart is perfect to start with as a straight barrel, as I've said before, in a 23 gram because your throw will determine how it lands. I have two darts here in the exact same weight, 23 gram. The Luke Littler Generation 1 pixel darts and the shaggy Scott Williams Gen 2 darts. As you can see, they are a different shape, but in my hand the weight feels slightly different. This dart in my right hand, the Scott Williams Gen 2, just feels that little bit heavier, and that's because the weight is distributed more towards the front. And when the weight is packed heavily on one side of the dart, naturally it will feel heavier in your hand. Now, if I was to hold the dart at the back and at the back, they do feel different. As you can see, slightly the Scott Williams dips down. However, if I hold it at the back, you can see they're nice and even. They are the same weight. I've put them on the scales. They're both 23.1 gram, but they just feel a little bit different. So take that into consideration. If you pick up a dart and you want a heavier feel, maybe it's not the weight. It might be the barrel shape. So I've said to start at 23 grams. I've said that because it's the most popular dart weight, and it's slap bang in the middle of where you usually would be starting out. Now, if you are a younger player, you're probably going to want a lighter dart, as you're not going to need as much force through the throw to get it to the board, whereas the older generation may need a heavier dart to be able to notice that push through to the board. Hence why you'll see older players revert back to the older darts that are usually a little bit more chunky, a little bit more front weighted, and around the 25 to 28 gram region. Now that doesn't apply for everybody, that is just a common stat across dart players in the UK. Now when it comes to choosing your dart weight, there are some factors that might change it. For me, I stuck with 23 gram. I've experimented high at 26. I've experimented low at 21. Now, later in the video, I'm going to show you how the throw is not really affected upon minimal grams. Over that sustained period of time, so over 5, 6, 7 legs of darts, that's where the noticeable difference comes into play. And choosing your dart weight should always be comfortable. So if you're practicing with a dart weight, don't just throw 3 darts and say, they're not for me. Give them a good amount of time. Throw for 5-10 minutes. If you're getting a bit of shoulder pain or you're finding that your darts are spraying left, right and centre, they're probably either too light or too heavy. The heavier the dart, the more control through the air that dart will have. Hence why when you throw a heavier dart, you'll probably find it flies a lot truer through the air compared to if you pick up a 20 gram, 19 gram dart. They may fishtail, they may sway through the air, and you might not feel in control of the darts, and that is completely normal. Now, what you don't want to do is shoot too high. I started on 23 grams, didn't think they were for me, went straight to 26. Bad choice. I was finding after even 2 or 3 legs, my shoulder was giving me a bit of pain and my darts were just constantly landing lower and lower. I was dragging them into the 1, dragging them into the 5, and it just wasn't enjoyable for me to play. From some wise words from some very, very good darts players, I listened to them and stuck with 23 grams. And here I am today with my own Crutchley darts in, you guessed it, a 23 gram. When I say darts weight really doesn't matter to the singular gram, I mean it. These Rob Cross 95Ks in my hand are one of my favourite sets of darts, and believe it or not, they're not a 23 gram. They are indeed 22 grams. Now, for me, these are a 95% tungsten dart, which means they're a lot shorter. There's a lot less room for the weight to be distributed. Therefore, I feel like a shorter barrel may require a little bit of a lighter weight. They throw exactly how a 23 gram feels, but that's because the milling and the tungsten that's used is slightly different to the darts I'm currently using in my Gen 1s. So, reverting back to the barrel shapes, always take into consideration the level of tungsten and the shape of the barrel. Too many people go into dart shops or look online for the darts that they want. They ask behind the counter, have you got them in a 24 gram? And they go, sorry mate, we've sold out, but we've got a 23. If you say nah, I'll leave it. No, don't leave it. Pick up that set of darts, because that 1 gram difference, it will not play the biggest of margins. I can guarantee now 99.9% of you watching this video are amateur darts players. Some of you might be edging into that semi-professional, you know, playing Super League, getting up into the ranks. If you are a professional darts player, let me know in the comments, but appreciate you for watching. Majority of you will be amateur. Unless your name is Luke Woodhouse and you're changing darts grams to the 0.2 of a gram. Yep, that's right. He'll just change his darts from 21.2 to 21.4, 21.6. We're not them guys. We're not good enough. 1 gram is not going to be a detrimental effect. Psychologically, it might be, but physically, it's not going to be anywhere near. If you like the feel of a dart and you feel comfortable throwing it, go with the weight that's closest to your preferred. Whether it be below or above, it's not going to be a ridiculous change. An example of this for me is the Keen Barry Generation 1 darts. I'm aware they need a clean, but these are 24 grams. Believe it or not, they don't come in anything else, so I didn't have a choice. And they are, again, alongside the Rob Cross 95Ks, one of my favourite sets of darts. These inspired my Crutchley Gen 1s because they are exactly the same length as these darts. I loved the weight distribution, I loved how they felt in my hands, and I certainly was not going to turn away a rare set like this for the sake of 1 gram. They throw exactly how I want them to, they feel exactly how I want them to. 1 gram should not be letting me down of buying darts I enjoy throwing. Now, for whatever reason you're choosing to play with brass darts, I'd recommend getting a set of tungsten darts. But if all you've got is brass and you like the feel of brass darts and you want to stick with brass darts, that's fine. But be aware, because of the material used for the darts, you're going to struggle to find a brass dart over 22 grams, and they are going to feel very, very chunky. That's because brass weighs a lot less than what tungsten does. So to be able to make a brass dart the same weight as a tungsten dart is going to need to be a lot bigger. So I'd recommend getting a set of tungsten darts. Of course, the Hydros from Target are a great starting point. 90% tungsten, Swiss pointed, for less than £30. Make sure you get a set of these if you are continuously using brass. I've got every dart weight from 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 and the 32 Ryan Searles. I'm going to have 3 darts with each and show you that darts weight really doesn't have that much of an outstanding difference in your game. It's all about what's comfortable and what you enjoy throwing. A physical representation of darts weight not actually mattering too much. It's all about what feels comfortable and what you enjoy throwing. To start, the Target scope in the 03 model, 21 grams, so 2 gram less than what I am preferred. Every dart's going to be aimed at that treble 20 segment, so anything in and around it. 5 and 1s I'm not too arsed about. 3 straight darts. That's what we like. 21 grams, you'd notice no difference. Picking up the 22s then. We've got the Rob Cross 95Ks. As I said previously in the video, one of my favourite darts. Steady ton. Exactly what we want. Again, you'd notice no difference. 23 grams, Crutchley Gen 1s, the darts that I prefer, the weight that I prefer. And the darts I enjoy throwing the most. Another steady 60. What we like to see, get them out the board, onto another one of my favourite sets of darts. The Keen Barry Generation 1s. The pixel grip on these is beautiful. Love it. I've not missed the 20 segment yet, by the way. Keen Barry is 24 gram. Beautiful. Steady darts. Brand new in the Winmore September launch, we've got the Brendan Dolans. A lovely dart these are. Just wish the back grip was a little bit more aggressive. Oh, we've hit the first one, but we've got a treble. 81, steady. Love them, love them. Aesthetically, these are beautiful darts. Absolutely beautiful. Talking about beautiful darts, wacky and weird, the Red Dragon Shockwaves. These featured in their 50th anniversary drop. 26 grams, a very weird barrel, but if you've watched the channel for a while, I did hit a 180 on camera with these. Can we do the same? No, we cannot. But they're 3 relative darts. Bearing in mind, these are all different weights, and they're all landing in the same place. What? So, we've covered the basic range from 21 to 26. It's all about what feels comfortable, guys. If you're still feeling uncomfortable at 26, you might want to be entering the range of Ryan Searle. 32 grams in his Series 1s. These aren't the heaviest because he now uses 34 grams, which is insane. I seen him play in the Grand Prix in Leicester on Tuesday. Very good performance. But yeah, 34 grammers. Well, these are 32 anyway. And would you look at that? Pretty much the same outcome. Now, yes, at the start of the video, I did say these darts have got to be thrown over a long sustained period of time. But the initial throw of these darts are all similar. So, do darts weight actually matter? Nah, I don't think it does. I think the only thing that matters is what feels comfortable. So, if you have a preferred weight, remember, it's only a preference. If something feels better, if something throws better, if something brings you more joy to the sport, use them. Don't turn it away because it's not your preferred weight. I guarantee you'll enjoy the darts game a lot better. As always, into the next one. Yeah, BOSH.
Like and subscribe.
BOSH.
Bye, friends.